I'm speaking to Avinash Advani, Vice President Business Development StarLink. He's a person with eloquence. The first question is, what new you are bringing to this market now?
It's a very interesting question because we've done a lot of evolution since the last time we've met. Company has grown rapidly both in terms of resources, in terms of vendors in the portfolio, in terms of geographical presence, in terms of partner landscape. So really everything. We've grown in every possible way. In terms of new vendors, we've actually rebranded our portfolio, and we've been recognized in the market for many years as a trusted security advisor. And as being a trusted security advisor, one of the key things was to maintain this consultative selling approach. And so what we did was we launched, actually at GITEX, our StarLink Security StarLink Solutions Lifecycle and the StarLink Security Framework. So the StarLink Security Framework is really a vendor-agnostic, technology-centric, layered approach to give customers the ability to get a visual aid in identifying their IT security risks and being able to prioritize where to spend their IT security budgets in the coming year. This really helps them understand what are all the different IT security domains within their environment that they can look at focusing on and spending and investing in. And it really helps them prioritize. That's the key. But it has nothing to do with vendors, nothing to do with specific partners. It's just technology centric. Simultaneously, we took our existing portfolio. Last year, if you remember, we had taken our portfolio and rebranded it. It was called Best Practices for Securing Access to Sensitive Data. And this was made up of 4 individual solutions: access control, vulnerability management, advanced threat protection, and secure mobility. And that continues to be the case today. We've expanded each of those solutions in detail. We've really made them more solution-centric, integrated solutions. But what we also did is we realized that consciously we had built the portfolio in a way that each of the solutions, they feed into each other by default. So we rebranded our portfolio, instead of being called Best Practices for Securing Access to Sensitive Data, to be instead the StarLink Solutions Lifecycle. And what this really means, and why do we call it the lifecycle, is because the first solution is called access control. And what this solution does is a customer will ask themselves, where is my sensitive data? And once they have an idea of where their sensitive data is, they'll put controls on that sensitive data, whether it be the database, files, the users. They'll put controls. Now, once those controls are in place, typically a customer will look at the SANS 20 controls or the OWASP list of vulnerabilities and really define where they should put their controls based on this industry standards. Could be through Gartner, could be through Forrester, but in all cases the controls are put in place as the first step in a security revamp. Now the second step is making sure those controls work. So you need to have vulnerability management to validate the effectiveness of those controls. And that's the second solution, so it feeds into the second one. Now once you've got your controls in place and you validated your controls, the third step is to say, okay, all your traditional security is in place. How do I now protect against next generation threats? Zero-day malware, APTs. Well, the simple answer is you have to understand the APT lifecycle. Understand that to protect against next generation threats, you first need to know the different pieces of the lifecycle. You need to be able to stop a callback. You need to visualize the malware, pre-exploit, post-exploit, and the whole thing tells a story. So again, there's a solution around it that is comprised of multiple different technology areas. So now you've got your controls, you validate the controls, you protect against next generation threats. What's left? Well, you have sensitive data in your environment for one reason, so that your users can use it. There are some authorized users who need to use that sensitive data. So you have to consume it. Now while you're consuming that data, you need to share it amongst authorized users securely. We call this secure mobility. And now once your users are using the data, what's next? You need to monitor how they use it, right? So it goes back from secure mobility into access control. So really the entire story, which used to be just best practices from a point product perspective, is now a life cycle of integrated solutions, allowing customers to not only get a framework to map their priorities and their risks, but now to be able to understand where to begin and how those priorities feed into each other from a vendor and technology perspective. So these were the two main, let's say, messaging changes and evolutions that Starlink did. In addition to some of the new vendors we took on, some of the best of breed IT security and IT software vendors in the industry. Since we met, I mean, we've now become Blue Coat distributors, Infoblox distributors, WebSense distributors, and there's a couple more coming. We've also done a lot of team growth. We're now 150 people across 14 countries that we do business. We have offices in 10 of those 14 countries, so very rapid growth. Our channel has grown to now 250 partners across those 14 countries, and we're really focusing on enabling them. We launched our new Starlink Choice Managed Partner Program, which was actually part of our Year of the Channel theme. So 2014 is the Year of the Channel. And the main part was to launch the Starlink Choice Program, which was really around incentivizing committed partners with rebates and spiff programs when they commit back and they align with certain revenue targets. So the real program though, in the big picture for our channel partners, is called the Path to Channel Autonomy. Meaning, when partners align with us on one or more technologies, we want to support them and train them and help them to become 100% autonomous to the level where they can go and deliver end-to-end services on their own. Make money on professional services, make money on the product, and really around the solution area, giving them an edge because they can make more money from a profit perspective. This is something partners are always looking for, and they can differentiate themselves from the competition. Again, another area that partners are really looking for. So we're helping them reach this autonomous state because we know that the only way we will scale our business up is with our partners. So this is on the partner side. I talked to you about the geography side, and we've expanded now in a big way across the Middle East, Turkey, Africa. We have our US operation, which was launched in February this year. We're going to be putting all the legs on the ground later this year and expanding in a big way in North America in 2015. Also, we have a new region coming on board called SENA, which is Southern Europe and North Africa, starting with the French-speaking countries, and we're looking at putting an office somewhere in that territory, most likely Paris, by the end of the year, covering that particular region. This is all part of our global expansion plan to become the largest pure-play IT security value-added distributor globally, which again is a multi-year plan, but these are the first few steps. So that's geography. Partners covered, vendors covered, customers. Of course, today there are more than 1,000 enterprise customers across the Middle East, Turkey, and Africa that are using one or more of Starlink's technologies, obviously sold through our channel partners. And that, in essence, is the summary of a long answer to a good question.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.